Takeo Spikes, former NFL linebacker, 15 years in the league. Have you been in front of the commissioner?
Yeah. Not on unfortunate terms, but I've been in front of him. Actually, I was a part of the first advisory committee that was put together by Troy Vincent when he was the Players Association president, me and 5 other guys. And it was supposed to be the kind of like the liaison in between the players and also the owner's representation with the commissioner.
Do players trust the commissioner?
No, they don't trust him at all, because going back even way before my 15 long years in the league, the commissioner has always been the judge and the jury. And the problem is that back when I was playing, even to this point now, no players trust him because of inconsistency all the time. You know, he comes in, I remember the year before we had the lockout, and he came to every NFL locker room and he stressed that no one crime or one punishment, everything will be treated differently. But then when you see certain events happen, you look at the Ray Rice, you look at the Michael Vick, just different things that happened over the past, and everybody seems to be convicted before even going through the legal system the proper way. And so I think that from those little incidents, big incidents, that's the reason why players don't trust him.
How did he screw up Ray Rice?
To be honest, it's just so many things that happen. It's not one particular thing. I go back thinking about the Ray Rice deal. The big thing is just the double jeopardy. It seems as if maybe the team said that, you know what, we have your back. And then you come out and say, you know what, we'll just put it on freeze for a second. And then now the double jeopardy part comes in to where, okay, now we're going to terminate you for the rest of the year because now we found out this. The video that was found out when everybody else saw it, the public. That was the big deal that I think that really kind of really pissed players off, everybody off.
Yeah, I think he tried to do right by Ray because he gave him 2 games. And then I think it was social media, Twitter, the outrage, and said, wait, you haven't seen the videotape? Which I found amazing, that you could have seen the videotape and you didn't. And you knew it would eventually get out. It's in a hotel. It's in a casino. So we're going to see that videotape at some point. That's when I think that the reaction was. And then the commissioner sort of acquiesced to the public and said, you're suspended indefinitely for the rest of the season. Well, you know, and then he blamed Ray for being ambiguous with the testimony. It was poorly handled there. And as a player, I could understand that. What Ray Rice did was wrong. I don't want him on my team, but he still deserves a fair hearing there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got that.
He deserves a fair hearing, and I'll even go as far as this. What he did was wrong. I'm not condoning anything that he's done. But I do believe in second chances, because I know you go across this league and you look at certain guys who have committed acts, probably even worse. You look at the Mike Vick incident, Josh Brent down in Dallas. Guys have.
Isn't it amazing Josh Brent can play? He killed a teammate.
Yeah.
Drunk driving killed a teammate.
Yeah, even Leonard Little.
Killed a citizen. Had multiple DUIs. Yeah.
And so no, I'm not punishing them, but just saying it's all wrong.
Yeah.
It's all wrong. And then even after those things had happened, then you come back and you get another DUI. So that's why I say, yeah, he's wrong. Ray Rice is wrong. But I do think he deserves a second chance, and maybe he will, maybe he won't get that one day.
We hear the whole, if you grew up in the South, with how you're treated as, your father treated you, and discipline, and if you have kids, if it's race related, how black parents or fathers treat their sons, or do you buy into that?
Yeah, I do. I buy into it wholeheartedly. I'm from the South.
But were you treated that way? Yeah,
I was treated that way, because I'm going to tell you this is I think in America, we try to hide behind the cloud of the slavery and the segregation and everything. But the reality of it is this, Dan. I just think that the white race is kind of brought up different than the black race, and the black race is brought up differently. That's just what it is. And in particular in the South, kids are treated certain type of ways. And the culture going all the way back from, and I'm not blaming nothing, a lot of stuff comes from slavery, but it's just the attention. You have to be able to get the attention, especially of young boys. And I think that's the way that it's been done for so long. And I'm not saying that's the right way, because they are alternative ways to be able to get the attention of your kids and punish them without beating them. I grew up and I got whoopings.
Well, I did too.
You know, I got hit with a broom, extension cord. I had to pick my own switch.
Yep.
You know, so I think I turned out pretty good. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here sitting talking to you right now.
But would you raise your child that way?
I have a daughter, 12 years old, and I get into her. I do. I'm not going to let nobody in America to tell me how to raise my kid. I don't abuse her, but I let her know that this is the program. This is the way that we're going to do it, because your last name will precede you way, way further than you ever can think. And, you know, so it's just a standard. I go its different ways. I'll give you a good story. The other day, she brought home a grade that wasn't approving. And so she just thought like, oh, man, you know, maybe he's going to fuss. He's going to jump on me. So I said, you know what? Okay. Since it don't matter that much to you, I say, put your running shoes on. It was about 45 degrees out after school. So she was like, okay. So she told the nanny, you know what? He's going to run me, but I can run all day because I run track. I said, all right, that's cool. Took her outside. I ran her around the neighborhood 2.5 times. 2.5 times. And she stopped and she said, Daddy, I'm about to start crying. I feel like I'm about to puke. I said, you know what the best thing about puking? She said, what? I said, when you puke, that means you have more energy to give me more runs. So let's keep it going. You know, so I got my point got through, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I go get a broom and, you know, you beat your daughter for you don't beat your kid for everything you do. You just don't do that. But there are alternative ways to be able to get their attention.
But is it love in the black community? So Adrian Peterson, now this is what I don't get. Now, he said he was raised that way. But then I'm told by friends who say you're missing a point in the black community. We view that as we love them so much. We want to make sure that they don't end up on the street, that we want to make sure that they understand what's right and wrong. Is that fair assessment?
It's more than fair. It's tough love.
Yeah.
I remember several times me being naive as a youngster, early teenager, standing on the street corner with guys in the neighborhood. I knew they did bad stuff, but what I did not know was that you are guilty by association. Yeah. And one person can do something. They don't care who did it. They care about the group that you were around.
Were they running drugs?
Yeah, running drugs.
And you're there.
And I'm there. But I felt as if, as long as I don't have any drugs in my pocket, I'm not doing anything wrong. And that's where the tough love comes in at, to where I remember my father coming to tell me, look, boy, you bring your butt home. I said, all right. I waited a minute. He came back up, jacked me up, threw me in the car. I remember another time I'm hanging out at the basketball court. And, you know, I'm trying to be cool. I see him ride by. He purposely rides by again. So I'm thinking, damn. Dad, why don't you just go to the house? I'm trying to play hoops. But his tough love for me was that he came out on the court with a belt and say, boy, get your ass back in this truck.
In front of your guys.
Yeah. But you know what? After that point, the guys in the neighborhood, the ones who did sell drugs, they respected that because they knew I had somebody looking out for me. And that's kind of like the unwritten code in the hood. Because they know if you got somewhere to go and they see potential about you, they would kind of put their arms around you and say, look, you know your pops don't want you here. You need to go, especially after this time right here.
Let's have you stick around and talk some football. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.